depicted in the diagram here too.
Yeah, it's a driveway entrance.
Okay, so
And
we,
but it didn't show the aggregate. He said, how thick is it? I can't tell unless I have that sheet. And so it shouldn't be no problem with it. But that guy said there, I point out in this
very good. They didn't, and you'll be available to speak during this process. Great, thank you, Steve, appreciate it.
It was bad, man. It was bad.
Raining outside or what was bad? Ooh. Did this? You what? You know, those decisions though are best made early.
You guys ready? Ed, you ready? I can wait. You mean start the live stream or wait?
Welcome to the October 13th Henry County Commissioners meeting. Would you all please stand for a pledge and a short prayer? Heavenly Father, we ask for your blessings on this meeting, on this country and this county, Lord. May everything be pleasing to you. In Jesus' name, amen. Apparently Corey's not here. Apparently we won't have an EDC update tonight. That's the first thing on there. Oh, before that, do I have the commissioners had a chance to look over the minutes from the last meeting?
Make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Minutes are accepted by a vote of 3-0. Have the commissioners had a chance to look over the payroll?
Make a motion, we set the payroll.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Payroll accepted by a vote of 3-0. Have the commissioners reviewed the claims?
Make a motion, we accept the claims presented.
Second.
Claims are accepted by a vote of 3-0. First thing on our agenda is an agreement with Schneider Geospatial Professional Services. Excuse me. They provide services to the auditor's office. We're just doing the first years. We're not approving the second part from January to December of 22.
Right, it's just for the rest of this year, remainder of this year.
Okay, the remainder of this year for their services from November 1st to December 31st is at a cost of $2,170. Do I have any discussion?
This is to for training.
This is gonna help us get, caught up from where we went, without our employee for a while and hiring people.
I'll make a motion to accept as presented.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to accept the agreement passes 3-0. Next item is a HVAC service agreement for the Justice Center. There's a lot of expensive equipment over there. This company, Piney Engineering, has been servicing it for several years. The contract is for $1,793 a month. Total contract amount is $21,516.
Make a motion to accept this agreement as presented for the total contract amount of $21,516.
I'll second it.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Does anyone know, do we have at this time 2 appointments for the Southwest Advisory Board?
We do. I was notified that there are 2 board openings and that we need to appoint. First of all, I would like to appoint Butch Baker from Dispatch 911 to sit on this board. Butch Baker to sit as one of the appointments.
Okay. How about the other one?
Well, I made a motion for Butch.
Do we have a
I'll
second?
second.
All those in favor of
Aye.
Butch Baker serving on the Southwest Advisory Board?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0.
I kind of would like to nominate myself to be on the other one since I am over Henry County EMS, and that falls in line with Henry County EMS and Southwest Advisory, that I would like to be the second appointment to sit on that board.
In that case, I will nominate Bobby Plummer as to sit on the Southwest Advisory Board. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll vote for myself. Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. We have a letter of resignation from the, let's see, I'll just read it. Attached, please find. Received a letter today from Jamie Owens, Liberty Township trustee. As per Indiana Code 3-13-10-2, the Board of Commissioners shall fill the vacancy of an office held by a minor party official, in this case Libertarian. Upon appointment, please provide this office with a copy of the minutes of a signed letter by the President of the Commissioners stating who was appointed. Do we have an appointment for this position?
Not yet. I think this was just to be able to put it out to the public that we're looking for an appointment for this township as a minor party official Libertarian. So anybody who knows anybody in Liberty Township that would be interested, have them contact our office.
Very good.
It doesn't really say that we need to advertise it, but you
Might give a notice to the paper.
give notice to the paper? Okay, we'll send, I make a motion that we send a notice to the paper to advertise this opening.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Also, we will have 3 seats coming open on the Planning Commission this year, at the end of the year. These 3 seats can be reappointed, or there can be new appointments. So anyone interested in applying for the Planning Commission, there will be 3 seats open. Next, we have several quotes. They have to do with the 2 units in the back of the room. One has not worked for 6 or 7 years, I believe. The other is hanging on, is a little over 20 years old. So we have gotten quotes for those things. One is from Piney Engineering, a quote of $30,179, and that is for cooling only. If we want a heat pump installed, that would be an additional $32,679. I think we had any questions or discussion about this particular quote. I might as well read the other quote that we have. We have a quote, and this would just be for cooling, replacing the courtroom air conditioning, the commercial 5-ton air handler, and a 5-ton air condensing unit, 3-phase unit, commercial grills and registers, various and sundry other things from Lynn Purdue. To replace 1 unit only would be $9,603. To replace both would be $18,246. The heating for this room, we were discussing earlier today, is in pretty good shape and is provided by a boiler in the basement. So we probably will not be interested, at least at this time, unless somebody thinks otherwise, with the heat pump option that Piney is giving us. So really what we are looking at is the quote for cooling only by Piney of $30,179. Replacement of both units by Lynn Purdue for $18,246. Any questions?
I make a motion that we accept Lynn's proposal after reviewing them, and they look like they're pretty close. And these units have been up here, I was told by the maintenance guys, since the 60s. So, I think there's
60s, they're older than I thought.
yeah. So to me, replace both units at 18,000 is a heck of a lot better deal than 30,000 from Piney, in my opinion.
I'll second that motion for Lynn Purdue for the $18,246.
All those in favor of Lynn Purdue's quote?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. We have another quote from Piney Engineering for a faulty pump bearing assembly and shaft coupling on the domestic hot water pump for the Justice Center. That quote is for $1,376. Includes all the electrical, labor, and material in that price.
I make a motion to accept the quote as presented.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0 to accept Piney's quote of $1,376. We do not have a final quote. It's on the agenda, so I'll mention it. At the YOC Center out in the park, we have had a bad sprinkler pump. Doesn't sound like much, but it is in it. And we are waiting on quotes for that, so we will take no action on that tonight. Department reports. Health Department. Angela, you have anything? I don't think I'll read all these off. Is there a department here that would like to report? Come on up, Tracy.
Saturday is our second annual Fall Festival. At this time, we have 40-plus vendors and food trucks that will be there. They will set up and be ready to operate by 11 o'clock. At 12 to 2, we have a fishing tournament for ages 3 to 17. You're too old. Just by a few years, I'm sure. They will be doing that at the Shively Lake, and that is if you're not familiar, that's the big lake in front of the Smith Building, the one that you can see there off of State Road 3. And registration starts at 11:30 to 12. We had 20 participants last year, so we're hoping to see some more this year. Then at 2 to 2:30, they'll be starting decorating shelters like we did last year. We kind of lost some because of COVID. Excuse me. We had a couple cancellations, but we still have quite a few. Plus, this year we offered trunk or treat for people to come in and do that. Anybody, we're still accepting those. Anybody who wants to do that needs to call the park before 3 o'clock on Friday to sign up. Nobody will be allowed in if I don't have their registration by that time. It is a safe trick or treat. That's why we're doing it during the day. We are also Blue Bucket friendly. So that has been a big thing for a lot of people, and we're really proud to do that. So trick or treat is from 3 to 6 then. And then at 7 o'clock, in conjunction with the Purdue Extension and the library, the park is doing a movie on the hill again. If it gets too cold or rains, we will be inside, and we are showing Beetlejuice this year. So everybody come out. We hope to have a good time. And thank you all for what you did last year, so we're hoping that we get the same kind of turnout we had. Second thing I have is from the football people and the softball people. They kind of like to know if we're going to be looking at a lease anytime soon. Because they have a lot of updates and stuff that they want to make, but they'd really like to see a lease first.
We've had one drafted for a while and made some changes from last year, so I think Steve and I will make sure that we get with them on that. So
Okay. Well, they just want to pass it on, so if you can, I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. Sheriff, you got anything? Any other departments? Moving right along. New business. We had expected to finish. Bad tape today. COVID response letter, it is not really finished, and we have not had a good chance to review it, so I make a motion that we table that until the next meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 3-0. Next item is 911 interlocal agreement. Been in talks with the mayor. He has seen the agreement. This is an agreement between Henry County and the city of Newcastle on how we run the 911 emergency center over there. And the mayor has assured me that he has read it and he is in agreement, ready to pass it this week, I believe. And so it is up to the commissioners here tonight. Have you all had a chance to review that agreement? Any discussion about it?
I think there were just minor changes made to this anyway, as I read through it. So I'll make a motion to accept the interlocal agreement between the city and the county for 911 as presented.
I'll second it. Most of the changes were dates. It's been in effect, what, since 2013 or something like that. So yeah, I second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to accept the interlocal agreement with Newcastle passes 3-0. Next item is Sherry Denney here.
Hello, my name is Sherry Denney, and my husband Don and I live at 4597 South State Road 103. This is 0.8 of a mile from I-70. We lovingly restored a historic house on the west side of 103. In 2023, our house will be 100 years old. And I want to thank you all for letting me come tonight and listening to me. I really appreciate it. I am coming before you tonight speaking for my husband, myself, and some of my neighbors to offer our concerns about the buzz we've been hearing and reading about. We understand there is a push to garner your support for an interstate interchange at South 103 and I-70. And we're very much against this effort for the following reasons. We already have two very close interstate interchanges nearby. One is 3.1 miles away, and the other, the Wilbur Wright Interstate Interchange, is 5 miles away. Both interstate interchanges are currently underdeveloped. We also have an interchange at 70 and 109, the Knightstown exit, that needs attention. As people who live on South State Road 103, we would like to tell you what a dangerous road this is. It is one of those roads that you really can't even understand unless you live on it. It has quite a few dangerous intersections, and adding more traffic volume to this road, especially from increased semi-truck traffic, will result in more death and property destruction. Think about morning school bus traffic and out-of-town drivers unfamiliar with the hills and valleys of South State Road 103. This is a scary thought, especially during the mornings we've had lately, very foggy. I can tell you there'll be a wreck at the intersection of 400 South and 103. We're concerned about the historic town of Louisville. What would inviting truck traffic to enter the interstate via 40 to 70 at 103 do to this town? How would trucks even make the turn off of 40 onto 103? You only have to experience a shutdown of I-70 one time to realize what a mess you have in smaller towns and smaller roads when a large volume of traffic uses roads not created for high-speed travel or high-volume travel. We also have questions. After attending the county council meeting on 10/6 and listening to Newcastle City Councilman Jerry Walden, I was under the impression that the Indiana Department of Transportation was on board and ready to put this interchange on the docket in 2025. After making my own calls to NDOT, I was told today by Mr. Clark Packer, Deputy Commissioner of the Greenfield District of NDOT, that he had not even heard of this, that this interchange is not in any plan, and he has no idea where this information is coming from. Mr. Packer mentioned there is already an interchange very close by. He also stated that a standard interchange costs $16 to $20 million. The only work for 70 in that area that is on the docket is repair and replacement work. So we're dismayed and don't understand the circulation of this misinformation. It concerns us that people would push an interchange without any data. Where is the data that an interchange that will disrupt and displace people who live in the area is needed? We can't ruin people's lives and injure the environment for the vague promise of future development. So our question is, have you been presented with any data that this interchange is needed based on current facts? And speaking of future development, because we've heard rumors about planned complexes and businesses, do we support building interstate interchanges based on data and current needs, taking into consideration all aspects of a massive project, including the impact on the environment and the people of the area, or do we support building to suit? This is not like building a road to service an existing business located in an area already zoned as an industrial park, like the county has done in the past. This would be pandering to special interests while ignoring safety and quality of life for those already living in the area. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I can only tell you at this point that rumors can be a dangerous thing. The commissioners, as far as I know, have not entered into any serious talks about making that.
And we haven't received any data. Yeah.
We-
Yeah.
Certainly, there are some people that are interested in doing that, but we have not discussed it on any serious level. And as you have checked the state, it's not on their agenda anywhere. So it may be something to worry about several years into the future, but I don't think you need to worry about it right now.
Well, we appreciate that, but we just want to, like I said, get on the front side, let you know. I'm here, my husband's here, and some of our neighbors are here. We don't really want an interstate interchange at 7103. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Bad tape. Next item. Bellflower Light Source, Road Use and Decommissioning Agreement. You want to speak first, or you guys, or?
I can start here with the two documents we have before us tonight. We have two documents for consideration. One is the decommissioning agreement for the by and between Bellflower Solar, the company that's developing the project in both Henry and Rush counties. This pertains to Henry County side of it. Decommissioning agreement, and it addresses the terms and conditions, requirements that the Bellflower would have to, that they would be bound by in the event that the project is abandoned or decommissioned at some point. And it goes through there and discusses the various the procedures on that, and the surety that they're providing for that. So it is a shorter agreement of the two, but Steve Russ is here, and I believe we have Joe. Joe, are you on the phone, or did I cut you off? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna. Why don't you try getting him? Because I'm not doing very well. Joe, we're gonna hold on just a minute. Would you speak up now?
Yes, does that help?
I believe so. Yeah, okay.
Hang on, Joe. Okay, go ahead. Joe. Okay, now you can speak.
Joe, do you have any comments on the decommissioning agreement?
No, everything looked okay to me.
Okay. And Steve, if you would want to step up also, then I'll tell who we have here from the company. two representatives. Let's first address the decommissioning agreement. You have reviewed it also, is that correct?
Yes, we did.
And I think you and Steve have been, you and Joe have been together when you've done so. Do you have any comments or concerns on it that have not been addressed on decommissioning?
No, we went over everything and agreed to everything.
Okay. And then we have also Diana Rivera here. Diana, if you could step up, and I'm sorry I forgot your associate's name there. I don't have a card from him, but any comments you want to offer on the decommissioning agreement?
No, sir. I'd be happy to give an intro or overview of, myself or the company, but if you, would rather just move quickly, we can certainly do that.
The only question I have is, I know there was an email back and forth between letter of intent or
Letter of credit.
letter of credit
Yeah,
and bond.
they have agreed to, I wanted an irrevocable letter of credit. I thought it provided much more protection for the county. They have agreed to do so. The bank is drawing that up, and that will be presented, but it will several other exhibits to the road and drain agreement will need to be approved by the county in the future. What we have is we would ask for approval tonight of the decommissioning agreement, and then I will discuss also with you after we're done with that the roads and drains agreement on that too. So this, I'm only addressing my concerns right now to the decommissioning agreement. So, and you have copies of it there. We've circulated those before. There's been a lot of copies going back and forth, but I don't know if you want any overall or presentation from her or not. Okay.
I think we've all read it.
Yeah. And I would say that the company's been good to work with. They haven't rolled over by any means, but they have been good to work with, and I think it's from previous agreements, not from them on other issues. I think it's a much better agreement, and I think they were good with it. And hopefully we've got our concerns protected. That's been our goal, is to protect the county and make sure it's done properly so there's no problem in the future. So I have no more comments on the decommissioning agreement. If there are any questions, I will certainly answer them.
Discussion by the commissioners. If no, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the decommissioning agreement as presented. There are no more changes to this.
No.
I'll make a motion to, as presented.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion to accept the decommissioning agreement passes 3-0.
The next one is the more lengthy agreement. It is the roads and drains agreement between Bellflower and Henry County. And this is the one that's had the most back and forth discussion and revision. Most recently, this revision we had this afternoon. Steve might be able to talk a little bit on that, and then Joe, if you can too. But the issue that came up that was last resolved was the term of the guarantee on the roads and drains, and that's on page 13 of the agreement. And they requested that we have Steve and Joe requested that we have a 1-year warranty from any contractor performing work to the roads, a 2-year warranty from any contractor performing repairs to the drainage improvements. And we had a good discussion this afternoon with Heather, who is the senior counsel for the company, and Diana and her associate here met also this afternoon with Steve and Joe, and we had a discussion after that, and they have agreed to make those changes to provide a 1-year warranty on any roads and a 2-year warranty on any drains. My understanding from Joe is that the 1-year warranty is what he requests in any bids on roads that we have. Other provisions of that we've gone back and forth on, and we've I've shared those with you as they develop there. And again, I believe the terms of this have been worked out that provide protection for the county, and we have all those terms and conditions set forth there. We will have a communications and traffic coordinator to deal with the roads. There will be a pre-construction survey of the roads documenting their condition, and there will be a post-construction survey of the roads documenting their condition. So we have a standard to know what the solar company will have to do in terms of repair of the roads. And we even expanded that to the next layer out of the roads in case there was some improper use of the roads and they damaged a road further out in our county. So we want to make sure that there's evidence of that so we can establish if any damage that we would have that they need to repair. There will be an inspector there's a provision there providing for an inspector of the roads. Joe has provided us with the name of a company that he's used before to ensure that we have professional information on the conditions of the roads, and he will be engaged. And there are other provisions in there addressing items like that. And we, again, talked about the decommissioning, the surety they will have to provide there, and they've agreed to make that an irrevocable letter of credit. There are provisions in there for fines if they violate the terms of the agreement with the use of the roads. They're set forth in the agreement. The warranty provisions are set forth as we discussed there. So we have those, and again, I think this, from a standpoint of protecting the county, we've done our very best to do so, and I believe we have provided protection to the county on that. We do have 3 exhibits there that will be attached. There are others that will be attached in the future, but we can't create those right now because it's not that point, but they are part of the agreement that they must be approved prior to certain stages of the work being done, and those are set forth. I provided you with 3 copies of the exhibit. There are 3 exhibits we're approving today as a part of this agreement, and the one exhibit, we have some additional information on the aggregate size for the driveway repair there, and we have the other 2. One's a site plan, and the other one is electrical layout. So we have those that will be attached and approved as part of the agreement. Other parts of the exhibit will need to be, other exhibits to the agreement will need to be approved as they come due and as are created. But again, I will turn it over to Diana there. If you have any comments on this you would like to make, and particularly Steve, I'd like to hear from you too on it when she's done. So.
I have no further comments. Martin, thank you so much for your efforts on this, and we're very pleased to have reached this stage with the county and look forward to a long-standing relationship.
Well, thank you. It has been a long process. You've seen the drafts that we've gone through, so it's just not something we came up with in the last week or so. But thank you, too, and I thank Steve and also Joe for your efforts on this, too. So.
Now, we had a discussion this afternoon about the warranty issue, and that was taken care of, and the exhibits that was submitted are fine with me.
I think the only thing I want to comment on is that they've been very well to work with, like Martin said, but I think the big thing is concern of this county that they've came back to us with the final road repair would be done by a local contractor that we use. That way we get the quality that we want to get, and we know it's going to have the warranty with it. So I think they've stepped forward up and beyond any other ones that we've ever dealt with contracting around here. So I always feel good about that, especially with the drainage.
Yeah, it made sense, too. When we had that discussion, it made sense why we would want to do that to them, too.
Exactly. It protects them, and it protects our county. So, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. So then, any more discussion by the commissioners?
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Joe.
So is this the final draft, minus the exhibits that can't get approved until after this is approved? This is the final?
Yes.
The final?
Yes, it is.
Okay, with that said, I will make a motion to accept this final road use agreement as presented.
Martin, you don't have any other concerns?
No, we've gone through it, and the concerns have, you identify those up front, and then there have been a couple 3 presented like this afternoon. We got resolved, and I think it's a good agreement, and any agreement's only as good as the company, and so far we've seen that they appear to be a very good company in terms of crafting these agreements and working with us and responding to us on it. So the example this afternoon about the roads, a local contractor for the roads, I had no idea. That was a Joe and Steve question, but when they discussed it with the company, they came back and said that makes sense to us too for these reasons. So it was just something that was not addressed, a concern, and I think that was a resolution that was good for both sides on that. So it's not been an adversarial relationship, but it's been one back and forth, and I respect that, and I think they do too. So, yeah.
I'll second Bobby's motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to accept the roads and drains agreement with Bellflower and Henry County. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Martin. Next, we have furniture quotes for our new jail.
Okay, hang on.
And
for a
I'm a
second.
little confused about them.
Okay, Martin, do you want to address?
Yes. There are 3 different levels you can request quotes or bids, depending on the dollar amount. It was anticipated here, as I understand it, Sheriff's behind me, that this quote would come in under $150,000. That happened to be the quote standard or the of purchases by state law. If it exceeds $150,000, then you must go through the bidding process, which is much more involved and detailed and time-consuming. So the lowest bid, I don't have the other 2 committed to memory, but the lowest bid came in at 165 or somewhere in that range. Obviously, it exceeded the $150,000 mark. The question was, well, can we deduct the shipping and the freight, all those charges on that, which it's a fair amount of money. And the answer is no. The statute says $150,000. It's total outlay of money. So in Indiana, it's improper, illegal to split a bid. But what we have done is they have re-examined the bid and decided there's some things that they can do without. And so that would not be, we're not dividing this bid into 2 separate bids and requesting, or 2 separate quotes and requesting alternate quotes there, different quotes. So what they've done, they've elected to delete certain amounts that they believe will get it under the $150,000 figure. And when you have a bid or a quote in that is exceeding the amount of the statute, you have to deem that or find that to be unresponsive and unreasonable. And so if you could do so on that, we need to reject all 3. There are 3 bids, 3 quotes, not bids, because it's in that range where it's a quote, not a bid. You have to reject those, and there needs to be a motion and second from the commissioners rejecting the quote for the office furnishings for the jail, and then they will proceed immediately to ask for three or more quotes on those. And the statute says you have to have at least 3. You can have more. So they're going to go out and cast to the field again the modified, reduced furnishing quote. Sheriff, is that right? That's correct. Thank you.
So then tonight, all we're doing is rejecting the 3 quotes that we had. Okay. Do I have a motion to reject the 3 quotes?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I will compose a letter for you to sign on that, and we'll get it sent out tomorrow. So.
Motion passes 3-0. Next thing is a memorandum of understanding between the Henry County Health Department and the Henry County Emergency Management Agency. Do you have anything to say about that, Angela?
It's actually between EMA, my office, and the Newcastle EMS station. They're just they allowed us to use space to get all of our emergency PPE out of the basement of the building we're in right now because we lost a lot of that to mold and water. And so we used our funding to kind of close off a small closet type area in their ambulance bay, and it's just allowing us to have access to that one.
You're happy? I'm happy. Do we have a motion to accept this memorandum of understanding?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to accept the memorandum of understanding passes 3-0. Bobby, could you speak a little about the creation of the Personnel Policy Committee?
So we need to create a committee to review Henry County personnel policies, suggest changes, whether it's vacation, sick time, comp time, or many other things that are in the personnel policy. And so we need to create that, and my thought was that we have Commissioner Dellinger and Bankson from HR, and then one person from each department, excluding department heads, elected officials, minus him, or those who are running for election. So we don't, we don't want anybody making changes to personnel policy as a platform. So one person from each department, and that department can decide who that is to work together with Steve to come up with suggestions for changes and improvements to the personnel policy that would then come back to the commissioners to be examined and voted upon.
Okay, I will make a motion to create a personnel policy committee.
Second.
You seconded yourself on that? Yeah. All right.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0. Only other thing here I have is next month's commissioners' meetings. Normally they are on the second Wednesday and the fourth Wednesday of the month. Since the fourth Wednesday of the month falls the day before Thanksgiving, or the evening before Thanksgiving, would be very inconvenient for a lot of people. So we have decided, or I guess we need a motion to change. So I will make the motion to just have one meeting in November on the 17th of the month. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. So next month we will just have one commissioner meeting, and it will be on the evening of the 17th. Is there anyone from the public that has anything they would like to say?
The 17th, we won't be having the 10th, just the one on the 17th. Yes, we're moving it, yes.
And we will not have the one on the, whatever the other date was prior to Thanksgiving. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
So moved.
So moved, whatever.
Second.
I think we need to get Ed better tape.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.